right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday evening, 7 p.m., 44-minute Yin Yoga flow. For those of you that have never done Yin Yoga before, let me just tell you, you're in for a treat. This yoga is different than many of the Western style yogas that we're familiar with, where there's this constant rhythm and flow. In Yin Yoga, we're focused more so on spending some time and propping ourselves in poses and really just melting in them so that the fascia in between the muscles, the parts of the body that we just do not work, have a chance to restore themselves. So we use props in Yin, and you'll see that in the chat. I kind of mentioned today's light on props, and really all you need is a comfy place to sit and some pillows. The amount of pillows that you're going to need is based off of your flexibility. So, in the yoga world, we usually have the standard of 2 bolsters, but you might have a collection of sofa pillows or bedroom pillows. And as you practice Yin more, you'll find kind of what is your go-to kind of props to allow you to really fully immerse yourself in these positions. So let's get started. The one thing I will say about Yin is that we never want to have any pain in Yin Yoga. So we're going to be playing with edges, so we are stretching ourselves, but we don't want any pain. And if there's a pain in any of the poses, no matter where we are, even when we're warming up or cooling down, you want to disengage from that pose, and you can always just come back to a seated position. The chat is there for you if you are struggling to get into a pose, if your body's just not working to get in that way. Just say a simple like, help, I can't get there, and I can give you some other ideas on how to modify. Otherwise, I try to limit the amount of time that I talk so that you can really enjoy this time for you. The last thing I'll say is that the beauty of live streaming, we have a little bit of a delay. So I'm usually about 10 to 15 seconds ahead of you. So if you put a comment in the chat, do not worry, I'm going to respond. It just takes a little bit. I'm usually actively responding as I see your chat. It just takes another 15, 20 seconds for it to show up on your screen. So with that, let us get settled in our seats, finding a comfortable seated position, whatever that may be for you. On this evening, I'm sitting crisscross-legged. I want to have our spine tall. And let's just start to bring our attention inward by not controlling our breath, but just noticing our breath. Noticing the subtle sensations of it as it comes into the body and as it leaves the body. Feeling the coolness of the air as it enters the body and the warmth as it exhales out. Taking a moment to recognize and show gratitude for this most basic function that we do all day that provides us the gift of life. Oxygen that allows our entire body to function. Now let's slowly begin to deepen the inhale, closing the mouth, inhaling through the nose, slowly filling up the belly, so pushing the air all the way down, focusing on the abdominals, so inhaling in slowly, and exhaling out, pushing it back out through the nose slowly. Seeing if you can go deeper and longer. Now we're going to incorporate some releasing and letting go of things that do not serve us. So on the next exhale, you're going to sigh it out on a... So you'll exhale out through the mouth now. So inhale deeply in through the nose, filling the belly. When the belly is full, pausing briefly, and then exhaling out through the mouth with a sigh. Releasing out anything that does not serve you for your practice this evening. Deep breaths in, and these deep releases pushing out. Do one more deep cleansing breath in and push it out. Good. Let's begin to wake up the spine. We're going to start doing spirals for the torso. So gently beginning in one direction, making slow spirals out. Gradually making those circles bigger. When you've gone as far as or as large as you can go, pause and start to move back in the opposite direction, making your circles smaller. And then working your way back to stillness. Good. Let's stretch out the sides. We'll start by going to our left. So our left arm can casually slide down. Right arm's going to come over the body. Try to keep your bottom making contact with the floor, feeling and elongating the stretch here down the right side of my body. And if you're accidentally going to the other side, no worries. We're going to go that way in just a moment, so you'll still be balanced. Holding and breathing into the stretch. You can slide that left arm even farther away from the body to deepen the stretch, but once again, we don't want any pain, and we want our bottom to maintain contact fully with the floor. And slowly walking that arm back up, dropping that right arm down. We're now going to go to the other side. Slowly pushing my right arm out. And my left arm's going to come across. And slowly walking yourself back up. Bringing the left arm down. Finally, let's just do some shoulder rolls. So starting rolling the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. All of the motion is in the shoulders. And let's go the other direction. Now, rolling the shoulders forward, expanding the shoulder blades apart. Once again, isolating the motion into the shoulders, and the arms are just going along for the ride. And one more roll forward. Good. All right, we're now warmed up and ready for our first official pose of the evening. So our first pose of the evening is going to be called caterpillar. It's also known very popularly as just a forward fold. So for the forward fold, we're going to be folding forward. And typically, when we do a forward fold, we would just be like this. However, we're going to be holding it for close to about 5 minutes. So we want to make sure that our upper body is supported so that we can just melt and allow the stretch to happen here in the lower back. So what many people like to do is just to prop up bolsters and have them to melt on. So move my mic over here. And do play with it, because sometimes it takes a while for you to get comfortable with where you need the bolsters to be. And as we continue with the stretch, know that as this lower back loosens up, you will be able to possibly move bolsters and be able to go deeper into the stretch. So don't get too settled. Listen to your body and play with that edge, okay?
All right, as we prepare to come out of this pose, go ahead and take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Slowly begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Moving the props out of the way. Then we're just going to gently put our hands right behind us and lean back for a nice little counter stretch. Good. Our next pose is called deer pose, and you may not need any props for this, and I know now I said that you just need pillows, but depending on your flexibility in your hips, there is a chance that you might need a blanket. So let's get into the pose and then I can walk you through if you need a blanket. So for deer pose, I'm going to start with my right leg in front of my body, running parallel. And then my the base of my feet is pointing forward, so I have this nice, beautiful shape here. My left leg is going to tuck behind me, doing the same position, but on my side. So you're seeing it now from the front. I'm going to turn to my right so that you can see it from the side. And then last but not least, I'm going to turn to the back so you can see it from the back. Now here's where a blanket might be beneficial. If you're finding that one of your hips is off, so this side of my body is touching the mat, this side there is a little bit of a space. A blanket, if you fold it and stick it actually under this portion, for me, that's actually touching the mat, it will level me out, so that I'm balanced. So if this is really bad, if I'm like this, then I'm gonna want a blanket to put there. If I'm pretty close, so I'm pretty close to the mat, I can sit and settle, because during this pose, we will actually be hanging out in it long enough that you'll melt into it and you will sit on the ground. So be mindful of that. And also when we go to the other side, they're different. So one side might need a blanket, okay? So we're just going to get into this pose. This is deer pose, and we're just going to use this time to do some work going inward. And so we're actually going to do an exercise with our arms called cloudy hands. And this exercise is all about clearing the heart and clearing anxiety and releasing stress, which I'm sure if you're anything like me, that would be really beneficial as we're on Thursday evening. So this has a twisting motion that's going to happen. So we're going to be twisting this way. So let's begin by having my left hand just shifting back and forth. So just get used to this motion. My left hand going this way. Now my right hand is going to be up here in the center of my chest. So let's just feel this motion that's happening here. Now we're going to get really fancy. They're going to alternate. So what I want you to imagine is this bottom hand, my left hand is gathering energy, nourishing energy to heal me. And when I get here, they're going to swap. It's going to come up so we can put that energy right into my heart. And now my right hand is gathering and alternate like this. Slowly and steadily, imagining that you're filling yourself up, not twisting too much, just a gentle twist. Once again, not looking for pain. If the twist is pain, then just stay still and move the hands, keeping the upper body. If you can have a little bit of a twist, you can do that. Giving a little bit of a gentle massage to the kidneys, giving a little bit to the liver with this twist. Cloudy hands. And closing your eyes and just breathing through any of the sensations, anything that you're noticing. We'll do one more each side in cloudy hands, and then we'll move to the other side for deer pose. Bringing the hands down. Let's bring this back leg around. Bringing the base of our feet together for a little bit of a break into a butterfly pose. We're doing butterfly wings. So we just flap these wings a little bit. Good. And then let's move to the other side. So once again, knowing each side of our body is different. So even though the other side may have been touching the mat, you may notice as we transition to the right, it's not. And maybe you need that blanket. And remember, you're putting the blanket underneath the side that is touching the mat to help level you out so that you can feel this hip now resting on the mat, okay? Settling in here. And once you're comfortable, you can start again with the cloudy hands motion. Gather. And the heart. Gather. Putting it in the heart. One more on each direction for cloudy hands. And then bring the hands down. Bring that right leg around and come back and do some butterfly wings. Good. Our next pose is called melting heart. Melting heart is all about bringing the chest to the floor and what is a lot like the child's pose position. A couple things just to be mindful of. Sometimes the knees need supportive, so if you have knee issues, you might need a blanket or some extra cushion under the knees. If not, the other piece that I like to do is I like to use a bolster to bring my chest to. I have found that resting my chest on the bolster adds a new level of depth. It also to me is more comfortable. Now I have found that some women who are a little more well endowed than I am, maybe it is uncomfortable to have the pillow there, and so they might not have the pillow. So let me show you what it looks like without the pillow. So you're going to come up into a tabletop, and we're going to then stretch our chest down to the floor. So this is melting heart. So that is without a pillow. If you want a pillow to support the chest, it would be like this. So this is a heart-opening pose. We should feel it in the upper chest. Knees are just supported because they're part of the pose. But it's a heart opener. So it's opening of the chest, opening of the upper back. It's where we should feel this stretch. as we prepare to come out of this pose, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And gently begin to sit back. Moving the props out of the way, and we're going to go into our final pose, which is a wide-legged child's pose. So the difference here is that we're resting back on our knees, but I want to do a wide-legged, so I'm stretching my legs out and coming down like this. And just melting on the floor. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Slowly begin to push yourself back up out of this pose. Bringing the legs and the knees together. Just sitting back in hero's pose. And we're now ready to transition to Shavasana, which for those of you that don't know is basically everyone's favorite time because it's like nap time. So we're going to slowly transition onto our backs. And you can do so getting comfortable. So if you want to put a pillow under your head, if you want to grab a blanket, you can do that. Just getting comfortable. As you get settled there on your back, feel your body start to melt into the surface beneath you, releasing any tension that might still be there. Imagine a golden smile is traveling from the top of your head down the front of your body, melting and putting at ease any tension it finds along the way, ensuring that you have soft eyes and soft cheeks, soft ears, soft jaw, soft chin, relaxed neck, shoulders, down the arms to each one of the fingers, putting the chest at ease, torso, the abdominal, the hips, thighs, knees, down to the ankles, the tops of the feet, and each one of the toes. You now feel a second golden smile coming down the back of the body, traveling down the back of the head, releasing any tension it finds. It continues down, traveling along the spine, putting the back fully at peace and in harmony. Travels down the rest of the body, the legs to the heels. Finally, a third golden smile comes down the center of the body, allowing any of the organs or feelings or thoughts to dissipate and be at peace and harmony just for the moment. Be at a state of true relaxation, a true place of ready to receive any rejuvenation or restoration that you need from the day or the week. I now want you to focus your energy right below the belly button in the lower abdomen. Take notice of this yellow ball, this bright yellow, almost white ball of warm energy swirling there. You could feel the warmth seep out from the ball, warming your entire lower back, the abdominal area. And on your next inhale, your slow breath as you take it in, feel it travel underneath you and then coming up the front of the body. Exhaling and feeling it coming back down the spine. Inhaling again, feeling that ball of warmth traveling up the chest, over the face. Exhaling it back down the spine. Inhaling it up the front of the body again. Exhaling it back down the spine. Continue this steady, slow, but intentional orbit at your own pace. With each breath, feeling that ball travel this natural orbit.
On the next orbit, feel that energy ball as it travels, it collects, pulling in any other extra energy that may be swirling around the body. Collects it and brings it back down to that lower abdomen. After you do just a couple more orbits, let that bright, white, yellowish, golden ball of healing energy just settle there in the lower abdomen. If its warmth is nourishing and restorative, you can feel the weight of it being there, providing a comfort of knowing that it's there for you whenever you need it throughout the rest of the week. Now begin to bring your attention back to the space that you're in, wiggling toes and fingers, moving your head from side to side. When you're ready, go ahead and push yourself back up to a seated position. Similar to the way we started our practice. And in this seated position, just take a moment and notice how your body feels. Increasing your awareness with no judgment. Take notice of any sensations of relaxation, as well as noticing any feelings of tension that still exist. Once again, with no judgment, just awareness. Take a moment to express gratitude for showing up this evening for yourself, for your practice. Take a moment to express gratitude for where we are exactly in this moment of life. No matter how challenging or joyous it may be right now, we're so grateful to have life each day, no matter the circumstances. And we will officially close our practice by doing 3, pulling down the heavens. Our hands are going to reach out to our sides, palms facing the earth. At the chest, they'll flip towards the sky, come above the head, and then pull all of that energy from the heavens, the stars, and the earth down through. Again, hands travel along the sides, flip to the sky, and pulling it back down through. Final time. And bringing it back on through, settling that energy. Thank you so much for joining me this evening for your practice. Have a beautiful night. And I will see you next week for Yin Yoga, or join me tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for our weekly restorative Qigong flow to start your Friday and your weekend. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you.